Welcome to another edition of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make Cantucci. What is Cantucci? It's what we Americans call biscotti. They're great Italian cookies. I'm going to make mine with almonds and dried cherries in it. Here are your ingredients. I'm going to first take and whisk all of my dry ingredients together. Next, I'm going to take my orange zest, which I mix some flour with it because orange zest is a little sticky. I mix some flour to spread it out a little bit, and I'm going to sprinkle that evenly into my flour. Next, I'm going to take my vanilla extract, put that in with my egg, mix that all up in there, and then add this to my flour. I'm now going to mix all this together until it comes together as a nice dough. Once the dough starts coming together, I'm going to transfer it to my work surface, and I'm going to knead this until it becomes smooth. Now, eventually, this will start getting sticky, and so I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Once it's smooth, I'm going to flatten my dough out. I'm going to add in my almonds, add in my dried cherry pieces. I'm trying to evenly space all these pieces out as much as possible right now. Now I'm going to roll the dough up and make it into a ball. And I'm going to continue kneading. Now I'm going to form this into a log. And any pieces that stick out, I'm just going to push in a little bit. If they're sticking out too much, I'm going to now take this log, I'm going to transfer it and flatten it out a little bit on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. I'm going to try to make this as even as I can, even square up the ends a little bit. Now we're going to put this in a 365-degree oven for 30 minutes. Well, it's been 30 minutes. Our biscotti, the first stage, is done. Now we're going to transfer this to cooling racks. It's nice and firm. We're going to let this cool for 10 minutes before we slice it. So it's been 10 minutes, so now it's time to cut these up and get ready for the second bake. So I have two types of knives. I've got one with a serrated edge and I've got one with a non-serrated edge. I'm going to start with the serrated edge to see if this works best. It should. And I'm going to cut these just on a diagonal. And that seems to work good. I'm going to continue slicing these until I have them all sliced up. So I've got all of these cut. And if you look at them, the inside of these are still soft. This is why we bake these twice. So now I've got a parchment lined pan again. I'm going to put these on the parchment lined pan and they're going in the oven. So now I'll start placing these face side up to get ready for the second bake. So these are going to go back in the oven, 365 for between 10 and 15 minutes or until they're fully firmed up. So it's just under 15 minutes. I looked at them and they're starting to brown, so I'm taking them out. After this second bake, if you touch them in the center, they'll just be slightly soft. But don't worry, once they cool, they're going to crisp up and be nice and crunchy. I'm going to now transfer these to a serving platter. And that's all there is to making homemade biscotti. I hope you really give this a try. These are phenomenal cookies. They're great with a cup of coffee, which I'm going to have in just a little bit. Dipping these in, there isn't much better in the whole world. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. I hope to see you again. Buon appetito, everybody. Bye.